that just in case it got cut off. What's happening? My name is Professor Bobby Borg, also known as Coach. How you guys doing today? I'm going to talk about internships in the music industry. I'm going to keep this short and sweet as usual. If you have any questions, be sure to ask them and I will get back to you, okay? So, number one, why internship in the music industry? What's the whole point of it? Well, for the first part, it is to build some sort of credibility. If you are a music industry student or you're a musician and you want to work in the music industry, but you don't have the experience or you don't have the skill set needed to warrant somebody actually hiring you full time, then an internship provides you the opportunity to get that experience and build that credibility, okay? Also, it gives you the opportunity to network. By virtue of working in the industry, you're gonna meet different people, including interns, that later on are gonna be a very valuable resource for you. So the interns that you work with are gonna go off and they're gonna get jobs and they might find an opening and they might let you know about it. So you can never underestimate who you network with and who you become friends with. And then of course your internship supervisor or coordinator is also going to be continuing on at that job where you interned, and they're going to have openings. And if you keep in touch with them, that might provide an opportunity as well. And that internship coordinator might even move to another company. And that might provide an opportunity, of course, too, as well. And then when you're interning, you have the opportunity to do what's called informational interviews. That means you can reach out to higher ups in the industry and at the company, and you can do you can interview them about like their job and what they do, and you can get to know them that way. So all of this could lead potentially to you finding a full-time job one day. And then of course, career discovery. When you intern in the music industry, it provides you the opportunity to discover what it is that you want to do with your life and what you want to do with your career. And gives you an opportunity, you might want to work in A&R and then you actually do it and you realize that there's a lot of administration responsibilities and you might think maybe this isn't for me, or you might absolutely fall in love with it. But an internship provides you like the real sort of opportunity to see what it's all about, okay? I apologize if there's any wind or any kind of noise. I'm live right now, so that's what happens when you're live. So what up, Junior Stills? How you doing? Thanks for joining. Let's go ahead and move on real quick. So why do companies use interns, you might ask? Like, why would a company put up with someone that doesn't have experience, and why would they allow them on their premises to kind of, hang around? Well, first of all, because internships provide leadership opportunities for the employees that are currently working there. It provides them an opportunity to be the supervisor of these new internships or interns that come in and to aid them in the internship. And that gives them experience in leadership and management as well. It also, of course, expedites workflow. So when you are a company and you have things that are low-level skills, tasks that require low-level skills, like why hire somebody that you have to pay full-time and when you can bring in an intern that will do it, and number three, because it's cost effective. It's cost-effective labor, and it's free to the companies, okay? Now, on that note of free, let's go ahead and look at some very important laws that exist. So for unpaid internships, there's the role of what's called the DOL and the FLSA. So I'm going to read this because it's very important. So the Department of Labor, DOL, uses what's called the flexible primary beneficiary test from the Fair Labor Standards Act, the FLSA, to ensure that for-profit companies hosting unpaid internships remain in legal compliance. Okay, so taken directly from the DOL website, here's what they need to do to make sure to remain in compliance. Number one, the intern and the employer completely understands that there's no expectation of compensation. Okay, so when you go into an internship, there has to be no expectation that you're going to get paid. and they can't make any promises, or they can't create any expectation that you're one day going to get paid. Okay? Number two, the internship provides training that would be similar to that which would be given in an educational environment. So that basically means that they have to create an environment that is a learning environment for you in order to uphold the laws, okay, of an internship. Number three, the internship is tied to the intern's formal education programs by integrating coursework or the receipt of academic credit. So what that basically means is that the person that's interning is part of an accredited program, is going to school. There's a class tied to the internship that's going to give the student credit. So the reason why the student is doing the internship is not only for the experience, but also to earn a credit as well. And this is important because it helps to ensure that the internship is actual educational, okay? Number four, the internship accommodates the intern's academic commitments by corresponding to the academic calendar. That basically means that the internship is typically going to start at the beginning of a school semester and end at the end of the school semester, okay? And if there's any tests that you have to do, final exams and stuff like that, they have to give the school precedence over themselves. So in other words, they can't keep you at work when they know you have a midterm or a final exam, or if you have a class that you have to do that's mandatory, they're not supposed to keep you. They're supposed to allow you to do what you're supposed to do in your school, okay? Number five, the internship's duration is limited to the period in which the internship provides the intern with useful information or experience. So that means that once the internship is not providing you any educational benefits, it's over. You know, you can't just be sitting around. You know, it's done, right? The internship's over. Number six, the internship work complements rather than displaces the work of a paid employee while providing significant educational benefits. So that basically means that you can't come in as an intern and replace someone that they would normally pay so that they can get you for free, right? In other words, the intern is pretty much there on an educational program, essentially, right? That's what it is. You're doing things for them, but not things that they would normally hire someone else to do. Number seven, the intern and the employer understand that the internship is conducted without entitlement to a full-time job at the conclusion of the internship. So that basically means that at the end of the internship, they're not promising you anything, okay? So in order to sort of remain compliant with the DOL, the Department of Labor, the internship has to be those things. So essentially to kind of, reiterate, an internship is an opportunity for you to gain experience, but it's also an opportunity for, the company to benefit through providing their current employees opportunities to manage you and get leadership skills. And it's an opportunity for them to get sort of menial tasks out of the way at no cost labor, right? But generally speaking, they need to make sure to make it educational for you. And that's very, very important. All right. And let's go ahead and move on now. So how do you find an internship in the music industry? There's obviously school resources that are going to be available to you. You should reach out to your internship coordinator and they'll have ideas. They might have requests that have already come in that you'll think you'll be the perfect fit for. There's also a service called Handshake. It's this big database where companies register to be part of the program. And they list information about their company and what they're looking for. And then students can kind of go into that database and see what opportunities might align with their needs. There's job sites like Music Jobs and Entertainment Careers that you can obviously utilize. There's company websites, so you can go to the website of like Live Nation or or Universal or whatever, and you can see what they're offering. Hooking up with school alumni, getting the names and email addresses of people that have gone to your same school and reaching out to them and say, hey, I'm 3 years behind you, and if you could offer some help. Typically, young graduates want to help people because they can relate to them, right? School guest speakers, if you have guest speakers in your class, definitely an opportunity to walk up afterwards and say, hey, can we go have a coffee, or can I talk to you more about maybe what you do and that type of thing, and that could lead to relationships. School professors, right? Getting on the good side of a school professor. I can't tell you how many times people contact me and say, send me your best student, right? So it's in your best interest to be the best student, right? How do you transition once you are in an internship to a full-time job? You know what? It's crazy, you guys. I have literally researched this in great detail, and have spoken with lots of internship coordinators. And it's very, very interesting because, number one, they say they're personable. So in other words, you need to be personable. You need to be a person that's liked. You need to be a person that's easy to be around, right? Number two, you're reliable. You can't do stuff like the day before Coachella, tell your boss that you're not coming in. You can't do stuff like that. You can't do stuff like a week and a half into the internship, you leave because, you weren't able to like go hang out with Snoop Dogg or something like that. Number three, you're valuable. You offer value to the company, which basically means, all of the things above already. You're reliable, you're friendly, you're personable. You do what they say, you're open-minded. You have to be realistic as well. So in other words, you don't go into the internship thinking that they're going to have you signing like bands and hanging out at like the master meetings and stuff like that and asking for your opinion. You just got to be an intern. Go in there, be realistic, and know that you got to climb your way to the top. And then be patient. Oftentimes internships don't turn into jobs right away, but if you keep in touch with the company, they very well could. Okay? What are some common internship concerns? Number one, a lot of interns sometimes feel that it's boring. Again, like, what do you expect? You might be at a desk doing boring tasks. What do you expect? You're gonna like get an internship and get on Learjet and go sign someone? Number two, redundant. The same stuff over and over, researching stuff, doing split sheets. It could get redundant. It could feel like you're just sitting behind a cubicle, like punching numbers in and stuff. It might be that. Number three, menial tasks, having to clean the studio, having to go get coffees. Hey, as long as the internship isn't made up exclusively of that, you got to expect that to happen. Okay. And then also, I've got a whole keynote of a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm going to spare you guys, though. I'm not going to give it to you because that would take another 10 minutes to do. But generally, that's kind of an idea of some of the things, okay? So internships in the music industry are very, very important. They give you an opportunity to get experience. And if you play your cards right, it could lead to a full-time position, all right? So my name is Bobby Borg, helping musicians turn their art into a more successful business. If you guys have any questions or comments, please let me know. What's happening, Serpico? What's happening, Pry Records? What's happening? Cody, what's going on? Let's see who else we got here. What's up? Doc.CRIS. And then we got a couple other people. Hi, Bobby. Someone's saying hi, Bobby. So anyway, what's happening, everybody? I hope you're good. If you have questions, please leave them in the, in the discussion section or underneath, and I will get right back to you, okay? If you want, subscribe. I go live all the time, and you will be notified that I go live, and then you can jump in and you can ask me questions, okay? All right, you guys, that's pretty much it. It's a beautiful day here in sunny California. Check it out. It's always beautiful. Take care. See you guys. Peace.